An amazingly fun tactic that's set to very attacking and manages to topple PSG in the league in the first season. It doesn't get much more impressive than that. Let's check it out. Welcome to the video everybody, I'm Jake for FMSCOUT, and as I mentioned, today we'll be looking at a very fun attacking tactic in FM22. If you do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button, we greatly appreciate that, and subscribe for more. But with that being said, let's go check the tactic out, shall we? Here you go. It is the Kashmir Knap VASP 4123, and then a load of different letters and numbers, which I'm not going to read out every single one of them. But if you want to get instant access to this tactic, you can find a download to it linked below. But how does the tactic work? What are the player instructions? What are the team instructions? Well, fear not, I'm about to guide you through that. We start off with a sweeper keeper on the attack duty. Anything with a minus and a cog sign next to it are individual instructions you'll have to add yourself, so bear that in mind. For example, in this case, the sweeper keeper is tackling harder. We've got a complete wing back on attack as so, and then one that is slightly different on the left hand side, two ball playing defenders on the defence duty, a defensive midfielder on support, one central midfielder on the attack duty, and one mezzala on the attack duty, with the following instructions as you can see on screen. And then we have three players at top. We've got two false nines on the support duty who have the same additional instructions, and then an advance forward on attack who wants to do the following. In terms of the team instructions, we're looking to be very attacking in the mentality, which is awesome, and even though it might concede some goals, it's very fun to watch in the match engine. In possession, we're looking to do this: high tempo, work the ball into the box, and everything else as you can see on screen. In transition, as usual, we're looking to counter and counter press, which seems to be very effective in this year's Football Manager, and has been for the last few, to be honest. We've got a standard defensive line and a much higher line of engagement, with everything else as seen on screen. And that is pretty much everything we need to know with this tactic. It's going to aim to score a lot of goals, particularly with the advance forward feeding off those false nines, the wing backs getting in great crossing positions. The centre mid will be filling in these kind of spaces, while the mezzala also goes forward but roams a little bit wider, whilst the complete wing backs will be marauding down the line to get some crosses in to the three strikers, and hopefully we'll get a good spread of goals between everybody in the team. Now, in terms of who we're testing it with, you can see up here, we've tested it with Chelsea in the Premier League just to see how it does with an elite level team, and also Chelsea have a lot of good striking options, so I thought it might work nicely. Then in the French division, I've got Nice, who are expected to finish somewhere in the upper table regions, but not in the top three of the league, and we've got Nantes, who are expected to finish mid-table at best. In Germany, we've got Bayer Leverkusen, who are expected to challenge in and around those Champions League places, and Wolfsburg, who are expected to be around the Europa League spots too. But how did they do? Did they perform well? Well, in some cases, yes, they performed very well. In other cases, they did good, but maybe not amazingly well. I think in every situation we have overperformed, but we'll start off with what I think is the best one, and that is the French League, where, I mentioned at the start, we've managed to actually topple PSG in the first season, with our Nice team, and our Nantes team wasn't exactly super far away, but Nice actually cleared out PSG by 4 points. I've used Nice with other tactics before, and it doesn't tend to happen, but I think this gets the best out of their striking options. So if you've got a team where you've got a lot of good number 10s, a lot of good striking options, but maybe not too many good wingers, then this might be the way to go. Obviously, Nice winning the league is amazing and unexpected, but Nantes coming in third place is also very, very special in its own right. We have certain players performing to extremely high standards. For example, Andy Delort here on nearly an 8 average match rating across the course of the season. He was playing as our middleman in that strike force. And we also have this guy in central midfield, Bedoy, who's seemingly done very well. I've actually never heard of him before, but he looks like a very handy player. And despite many goals from Andy Delort and an amazing average match rating through the middle, it was Amin Gyouri who has really shown just how well this tactic can do, because playing off the striker as a false 9, he has scored a crazy amount of goals, scoring 43 goals in 37 appearances, being very effective up top with his strike partners. We also had a lot of fun out in Germany, where our Wolfsburg team have managed to finish in second place, fairly off the pace from Bayern Munich, as it tends to be in the German leagues, but Wolfsburg, with the squad they've got, have done very well. Now, I've managed Wolfsburg on my own channel, which if you want to check out, you can find linked in the description. We're getting very close to 8,000 subscribers, so any support over there is greatly appreciated. We've also got a new series going on at the minute with Villarreal, and a one-off rebuild on the way to come out soon. Now, having managed Wolfsburg, I'm very aware aware of the talent that they have, maybe through the middle of the pitch, but not so much out wide. Now that's why I think they've done so well compared to Bayer Leverkusen, who have done average on 64 points, I would say. But Wolfsburg is very impressive, and it's because their wide players maybe aren't so good, but through the middle, they've got a lot of great options. If we do go to their squad, they've got the likes of Waldschmidt, Nemetcha, Jonas Wind, Philip, Cruz, Lucky Abo as well. Now, some of these players particularly coming to mind is the likes of Waldschmidt, are players that can also play in that number 10 position, which kind of makes them the perfect options in that false 9 role, and we can see some of these guys have done very well for our side. So I definitely suggest this tactic if you are looking to have some fun and you have a lot of good options in those striker positions, but it's good to see our teams performing so well. Bayer Leverkusen though, I mentioned they didn't do great in the Bundesliga. 4th place is fine, but they did actually win at the Europa League, so that was pretty impressive in their own right. Going back to Chelsea, they managed to finish 2nd in the league. It would have been nice if they'd finished 1st, but it wasn't to be. I think this is because of how unforgiving the Premier League is at this point in the Premier League. Even the worst teams in the league, Leicester, Brighton, Newcastle, in this save at least, have some amazing players still. And to go very attacking and to open your back line up against any team can cause some issues. We have came runners-up in the Champions League though, which was fairly impressive. We won the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, let's not talk about that. But as you can see, it's done okay for Chelsea. But I think the best results were in the French division, where we seemingly found 2 teams who suited the tactic very nicely. In terms of looking at statistics, we can use Ligue 1 as our best example. If we go to team overview, our 2 sides have absolutely smashed it on the goal scoring front. We've scored more than 50 goals over PSG with our Nice team, which is very, very impressive actually. And Nantes have also beat PSG by 21 goals, which is very impressive. Now, where you're going to see the downfall of this tactic is of course defensively, where I imagine we are some of the worst defensive teams in the league. 16th and 10th, not terrible, but not very good either. But with all the goals that this tactic scores, it certainly makes up for it, and that is seen clearly here in the most shots for section, where our Nice side has created over 1,000 shots in the 30-odd games in the French league season. That is nearly 400 more than PSG have got. It's actually super, super impressive, that is, and it really goes to show with the right players, this tactic can be very good. Of course, Nice have got very good central midfielders, a lot of striking options. The likes of Guri and Delort have worked really well together, and their wing-backs, which are also a big part of this tactic, are good too. They've got the likes of Youssef Attal, who has created a lot of problems, and they've just got many talented players. Clearly, this tactic scores a lot of goals, and that's represented in the most goals section, but it's interestingly for me in the most assists section where we learn a lot about this tactic, because outside of the central midfielder for Nice, most of the assists have came from our wing-backs. Look at Nice getting 14 assists from the right-hand side and 19 assists from Amavi on the left, and then in the right-back position for Nantes, we have 18 assists coming from the 31-year-old Corchia, so it really does get the best out of those attacking full-back options that you might have. An interesting statistic that I found here is our crosses completed section, where Nice have completed 774 crosses across the course of the season, and Nantes are the second best team on 500, over 150 goals away from the next best player. So clearly, if you've got a striker who has some aerial ability, you will get a lot of good results from this. To finish off the video, we'll have a quick look at how this tactic performs in game by checking out Wolfsburg's last match of the season, where they beat Bayern Munich 5-0. Now, Wolfsburg here might have done some rotation, but it is still a very good squad, and looking at it, I don't actually think they've done much rotation at all, yet we have dominated the game. We'll start off with the first goal here. I haven't seen these yet, so I don't know what it's going to be. Could be 5 corners for all I know, but it's a nice bit of incisive play with our central midfielder Arnold running in through the back and scoring close range. We then have a goal here that looks like it's going to come from the full-backs, which we explained was a big part of his tactic. These wing-backs getting in behind, and as comical as that one was with Sewell smashing the ball off Demetcha's head, you can see the idea. We had 3 or 4 players in the box there ready to try and score from that cross. Again, we're playing it around the left-hand side. It's a good ball through from a crossing position, and we finished well with Lucky Bacchio. Lucky Bacchio? What's his name? I've never seen him before. He's new, right? I don't know who he is, but he scored a good goal. Anyway, here we have Wind playing it to Mbabu, and Mbabu out wide, getting in a crossing position, puts it right across the box, and as I mentioned there, 6 players 4 players in the 6-yard box, should I say, and any of them could have tapped it in. And it looks like the 5th goal as well is also going to come from a crossing position. Wind heads the ball back, Arnold comes in late, and you can just see the packed amount of players we have in the box. As attacking as this tactic is, when it's playing well, it's playing amazingly well, because looking at it, we might have scored 5 goals, but we actually didn't concede 1 against Bayern Munich, despite going all out here and trying to score as much as possible. We didn't have too much possession, we let Bayern have a strong majority of it, and expected goals, you would have thought Bayern would have put 1 away, but that's not to say we gave them loads of opportunities. We didn't give them 1 clear-cut chance throughout the game, and realistically, we've dominated that despite Bayern playing a very strong side, and I think that's really impressive to have a very attacking tactic, put 5 goals past Bayern Munich without a response. Yes, they'd won the league at that point, but it's still pretty cool to see. Anyway, that'll be the end of today's video. Hopefully you did enjoy looking at this tactic. Again, if you want to download it, it will be linked below in the description. Hopefully you guys are enjoying these tactic videos. Don't forget to smash the like button if you did enjoy. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.